Alright folks, welcome to another League with Bant control before the banning of UR. Hopefully it's coming Monday. Made a couple of final changes to the list. The main one being the cutting the Veil of Summer for Mystical Dispute. It seems like the Tibalt decks are adapting to the Force of Negation matchups or the the mirrors or whatever with Commandeer. So I've been caught off guard a couple of times already, and Commandeer has gotten me, and I've been sitting with a stupid Veil of Summer in my hand, which if it had been a bit Mystical Dispute I would have won the game fairly easily. So we're making that switch there. The other thing is I'm completely ignoring Graveyard Hate. I was playing Soul Guide Lantern before, and now I'm playing a second copy of Shark Typhoon instead. It looks like the Fairy, it's a fairly popular card right now. We're gonna see whether this works out or not, but this is probably gonna be the last League with this deck that I'm gonna be playing. So hopefully we get another nice little 5-0. Have they officially said the ban is happening this Monday? I think that they said something like wait for more info on Monday 15. I think that's what they said. I feel that it was way worse than Uro. No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I think that Uro is a lot more egregious than Feel of the Dead. I think that Feel of the Dead is a lot better when you have Uro in your deck. I'll say that. But Field of the Dead is like it requires a lot, right? Like making it all the way to 7 lands, it's not an easy feat. Like it really forces you to build your deck around that. Uro makes it very easy to make it to 7 lands in play, but I feel like decks without Uro are not going to be able to just jam Field of the Dead and hope that it sticks. It's interesting seeing people complain about cards that are much better when Uro is also in the deck. What do you mean, Offbeat Hero? Tibalt is that villain that makes the heroes and villains team up to beat because they're just that powerful. Yeah, for real. I didn't expect to be calling myself the good guy whenever I'm registering Uro and the Teferi Unraveler and Force of Negation in my deck. But this is where we are. I think Field will also be banned. I don't know. I won way more games with Field than with Uro, to be honest. Strong disagree. Strongly disagree. We're playing against Twin. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's tough to see because like Uro is obviously powerful while being objectively and very obviously powerful at the same time. But many times you like Uro is doing a lot of work and you don't even notice. And I mean, tell me how many times you've said, okay, if I draw an Uro here, I'm just gonna win, versus how many times you've said, okay, if I draw Field of the Dead here, I'm gonna win. I've definitely said the first thing way more times than the second thing. Traitor. I know, I feel dirty. I feel dirty, Chief. I feel like I kind of need to use my mana, even though like he obviously has a spell queller. That's the most obvious spell queller that I've ever seen. But I am auto flooded and I need to use my mana. Yeah, okay. Missing land drops doesn't help. Feels like play Valky and or don't play at all. Yeah, that's basically where I've been, Chief. That's basically where I've been. Trying to beat Valky has been sort of a miserable proposition because like you just fail. Like you try to beat Valky and then you just fail and you feel sad. This slows down the beatdown by a lot, and we can just get it back again next turn if we want to. Borrower's so good right now. Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It really is very, very good. This guy is also insanely good right now. Valky got up stealing your money. So true. So awkwardly true. MTG is so dope. Yeah, MTG is great. Could have put Path on top there, but I think this is the plan. Ooh, Snowland. Snowland, maybe getting some snake action over there. Okay, so it's playing Spike's deck. So I guess there was no Queller all along. One, two, three, four, five, six. Brutal. We really needed to find a path. Spike's list doesn't play Queller. Yeah, but I didn't know that that Twin was playing that list until right now. So obviously I was playing around the card that he doesn't have in his deck. We gotta kill that guy, so. He's probably gonna equip Stoneforge, Borrower, kill Jace. Or drawing a dead card in a Force of Negation. So he's gonna have infinite mana. I'm gonna pitch this Mana Leak, which doesn't do anything. Not in great shape here. Not in great shape. Not in great shape here. Okay, I feel like I want explosives, of course. I feel like I want verdicts. And I feel like I want disputes and sharks. Pier seems bad. Gust seems pretty mediocre too. Romance seems bad. Fairy seems slightly awkward. Same with Big Tef. Cut 2 forces. I feel like the fairy is just not a problem in modern. Makes me feel crazy because people are always talking about it. Yeah. I don't think it's a matter that it's not a problem. It's just a matter of the play patterns, right? Like the play patterns are just fucking miserable. So like it's just not great to have around, basically. Whenever the fun raveler is involved, like just nobody has a good time. So that's mostly the problem in my opinion. It was just a poorly designed card. Like that's just what it has. It's not like it's too strong or like it's problematic. Just a card that sucks. That's all it is. Play taxes, so I guess the fairy just doesn't really affect me. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like you should not value or analyze the power of cards or whatever based on your personal biases. At least you should try to, you know, do things subjectively, I guess. Ice Fang. They could have worded so many different ways to have it not be so annoying. Yeah. 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 So if he has his own dispute, that would have been a problem, but seems like he has spell pierce. I think I'm holding on to this sanctuary. We can get value from it down the line. We get punished if we draw exactly Field of the Dead, but fuck. Shark off the top, one time. Shark. Shark me up, baby. Shark. Okay. It's not the worst, I guess. Alrighty. Oh, we can UR here. Reading pool. Thank you for the follower. I am MTG. Gonna say no. This Uro guy, what a gentleman. I think that we're gonna get like remanded or something, which is gonna suck, but just gotta use your mana unfortunately, and we're gonna get remanded anyway, so I'd rather we get remanded and not my opponent be able to resolve an Ice Fang here and then equip the sword and stuff. So Tusky, the bearer of secrets. Force of negation, pitching force of negation. Got another force? He does. Get another force. I don't think that he has Path to Exile. Blue, green, 1. King Udo. I mean, that's bad news for us. That's kind of good news, though. We attack, they block, they gain 4, they only take 2, so no real reason to do that. Putting them on Pact to Negation? No. What do you mean? They have used 3 forces already. And they don't have Sanctuary in their deck. 3 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gonna equip again. 3 mana to bounce. Shit. So they're gonna be able to bounce and then equip. Oh, or maybe not. All right, chat, moment of truth. Whatever we play is gonna resolve. So, do we need to luck sack or do we need to path this germ? I think that pathing the germ doesn't get us there. So I think that we're gonna have to luck sack, find either Jace, Teferi. Big Teferi is not in the deck anymore, so it has to be Jace, Teferi, Cryptic Command. Well, I can only draw 1 card. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make here. I can only draw a single card. So I'm thinking whether I want to put this path on top of my deck with my Mystic Sanctuary or not. I'm trying to think whether that is a winning line or not. If we look at the list, we can draw any of these Cryptic Commands, any of these Teferis. But we do have a reasonable amount of dead draws. I guess Shark Typhoon it's kind of the nuts. Explosives does do it because we can make it so my opponent cannot, we can blow up the sword basically. So explosives does do it too. But we have a reasonable amount of dead draws as well. Stuff like force. Massive damage without the lifelink. If we get rid of this, the problem is that my opponent gets to bounce and they get to do it again. Right? They bounce and they activate Stoneforge, and they're gonna have one more line in place, so they can even equip the sword to the germ again. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. So they're gonna be missing a land in order to do it if they jump with Stoneforge. So there we have 7 zombies currently. And then we're facing a germ again. So we attack for 14, down to 7. And then they play another germ. We attack with everything. They block. They block one of these. They gain 4. That's up to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I guess if we draw something, we're gonna have 2 more zombies too. Okay, so I think that the play is to path, actually. This feels very bad, but I think it is the line. We have 2 more zombies. And I'm going to attack them. I'm going to ignore the Teferi. I guess they can equip Battle Skull to Stoneforge. Yeah, that's actually a lot better. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm an idiot. That's a lot better. But we have draws now. We can draw a Cryptic Command. We can draw Teferi wins the game. Teferi wins. Jace wins. Cryptic wins. That's kind of about it, though. Yeah, that's about it. This wins, this wins, this wins. And I guess Shark is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, Shark would not be bad because it can actually block. Although I guess next turn my opponent's going to be equipping this Sword of Fire and Ice as well, which would be lethal. So yeah, Shark, I guess, is not good. Did we lose to Valky once? We lost against House. I think it was round 1 of the previous league. Growth Spiral, the redraws. Cryptic, Jace, something good that wins here. No! $18 damage, opponent wins, gains life, we're dead. Womp womp. What a reasonable amount of draws there. Surprised that my opponent had Aethergust in their deck. We have 8 cards. I guess that this is a pretty big one, so it's not that crazy. Bottom in the Cryptic there because I feel like super punished, but I was bottom in the Cryptic there because I feel like it's more likely that we get to resolve Fairy. Ugh. We were talking about Bogles earlier today. Take 2. I'm assuming we should have a fine Bogles matchup. No second equipment. I guess it's not equipment, it's a... enchantment. Alright, baby Tev. Do your thing. Find me a land, baby. Boop. Kinda sucks. Kind of sucks. Am I just letting these resolve? Just bouncing the Grief Spoon again? I'm taking a lot of damage if I do that. Yeah, I guess I don't. Land drops, please. It's frustrating because it's like if we hit our land drops, there's no way we can lose this game. But we just cannot hit our land drops. Which is very, very frustrating. Oh, come on. This one I am gonna resolve. I'm gonna let resolve. I have the... I'm gonna make the same plan again. Grief Spoon. I'm kind of saving Force for one of their big spells, the one that makes their Bogle grow above Uro. It's insane, man. I just can't hit my stupid land drop. Alright, land drop, please. Come on! Wow! Wow! Wow. No green source. Without playing another land? Yeah, that's obviously the answer. This is what I was thinking about. Probably putting Lurrus in hand here. Yep. Interesting. Non-lethal attack at Jace is definitely interesting. I have to assume that their card in hand is not... Okay, they're just going face, which makes a lot more sense, honestly. Land. Okay, so last card in hand is Lurrus. So we're going to try to hit a land drop here. So we put this on top and this on top. We Udo here because I want to dig one deeper and we're going to remand the Lurrus. So opponent can recast Lurrus, but then we just path it, so it's no big deal. And they don't get to recast their stuff. So I do like my opponent going for the canopy there. I think it's definitely correct to try to spike a one-drop thing and try to clock the Jace. You know, my opponent definitely made the right move there. Land. Can I find the land that I'm looking for? Yes. Okay. There we go. Now we can finally get going. Okay, so gonna play our land. Get a green source. Green, green, blue, blue. We're gonna Udo. My opponent is going to play that. We're gonna gain 3 life. Then they're gonna attack me with their silly Bogle. It's not gonna matter. They're probably gonna go face because I'm gonna let the Lurrus resolve unless I draw another remand here, a mana leak or something. That's fine. Doesn't matter. But next turn we're just gonna start chaining cryptics and we're gonna win very easily because my opponent's deck is Bogles, you know. Why keep path versus Bogle? Number 1, it's game 1, and number 2, you have to know. Even post board, I'm going to be keeping in path against them. And the reason for that is that their deck is bad, and they're very, even though they're a dude says Hexproof here, the cards that you lose to are not this dude. The card that you lose to are Gaddock Teague, whenever you can't answer it, and stuff like that. Gaddock Teague and Core Spirit Dancer. And Lurrus, I guess. So sideboarding for my opponent's game 1 plan, it's something I never recommend anybody do. Opponent playing things interestingly here. Not playing anything. Well, now I'm confused. This is perfectly fine, actually. We'll literally have another Udo waiting to come out and play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still have good mana. Here's Johnny. And now we should be able to win very easily from here. Even if my opponent has another path to exile, we should be able to enable this third Udo very easily. I think I'm even going to fetch shock here because my life total is just irrelevant now. We have won this game. Thanks to Uro. Yep. This and this, this and this, and scars are bad. This is fine. Let's go with this. The funny thing about Bogles is that even when it's good, it's not very good. it's pretty funny. Because right now I think that Bogles is good. I think it's fine against the Valky decks and stuff. That doesn't mean that the deck is actually good. My opponent has even been having some very good hands. But it's just overall the power level just falls a little bit flat. Rancor. Sure. Spider Umbra, okay. If they have Coronet, this is the one I'm going to be forcing. Yep. I guess I have to pitch the Cryptic, even though I don't love it, but my opponent's going to be erasing me here otherwise. And we can use the Uro to try to stabilize. Green, blue, 1. That sucks. A little bit path flooded here. Please play a Spirit Dancer or a Teague that I can path. That's not something I can path. So best stop deck is Engineered Explosives. So we're just getting got here. Because my opponent's dude flies. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess technically I can -3 on the Rancor. And I am technically surviving. Obviously I died to anything, but hey, look at that. Look at that. Another bagel. Green, blue, green, blue. Are you gonna take it home, sweet prince? Are you gonna take it home, sweet prince? I think I'm not playing land here. Because that's 2 more zombies next turn. For real. Not putting Lurrus on top. Not putting Lurrus in hand, I mean. Show me. Ah! Yes. Bagels. Udo claims another victim. Did you shuffle the Rancor away? Yeah. Rancor wouldn't have been enough though. I was at 7 and my opponent's Bogle was at 4. Alright, Victorelio. Let's do this. Why do you play UR Prowess in this deck over Titan? Because I'm playing Fort to Fairy, so it's easier to like sequence it in such a way that you have a lot more flexibility, and more importantly, it's 1 mana less, and if I need to, I can just put it back on top anyway. So. Yeah, you can just make it Mystic Sanctuary back to the top of your deck. And we are very much a Mystic Sanctuary deck here. Swiftfoot Boots. Should I have pierced that? Something tells me that I'm going to be super punished for not piercing that later in this game. I don't know. Something tells me that might happen. I'm just gonna die with this stupid pierce in my hand and never using it. My opponent's draw is awkward to say the least. Also, they're not playing black, which is great for me. That guy resolves. It's not gonna last too much. The spell pierce is totally gonna rot in my hand. Not interested in having my opponent draw a card. Actually, I'm gonna spell pierce this one, I think. Because I think that this has a very soon expiration date. And this is my opponent's only trample thing, so effectively it feels like as long as I keep the Ink Moths in check, if I resolve an hour, my opponent's not gonna be able to kill me. Kind of feels like that'll be the case. Another Paladin is bad for us. Sad. Very sad. Very, very sad. Sure. Third path is the best non-land draw. Probably. Maybe Remand. I just have to start digging. We just got played, chat. We just got so played. I have not seen this guy in a long time. My opponent seems to be playing sort of an older list. Down to 5 we go. We got the fairy minus on the hammer. Literally the only way that we don't just lose. The good thing is that we can, if they have another another sort of equipment that is not a hammer, we can force it. Lurrus in hand. Okay, so I assume that that's gonna kill the Teferi and we're gonna take 3. If we draw land, we might be in okay shape. If we draw land into land, we might be in okay shape. Land? Maybe not that one. So we Udo. Opponent plays Lurrus. They play Shadow Spear. We force. I think we have to Udo here. We are technically not dead. Oh, that's a lie. I'm an idiot. They just equipped this to the Lurrus. What am I thinking? Maybe they overthink it. They are overthinking it. They are overthinking it, chat. Yes. They didn't see the line. God damn it, we dodged hard. We dodged that one real hard. Wow. They just didn't see the line. They had actual lethal. Nothing I could do about it. Yeah, we are in borrowed time. Like if we win this one, that's just. And now we just Udo, and our Lord and Savior is gonna take us home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe they're playing around the 3 of Slaughter Pact. Yep, back from the Amulet days. Sigardas Aid. Fuck, man, really? After you threw the game away, you punish me like that? God damn it. Well, I mean, I'm blocking, right? And I'm blocking the 1-2 because it has hexproof. So if my opponent wants to throw to throw Colossus Hammer at one of their dudes, we have to path that dude. If they have another Swiftfoot Boots, we lose. Oh, we just got Steelhead Old East. Yep. Steelhead Old East, Steelhead Old East. Sad. Very sad. It only took us like 6 turns to find 6 turns of digging to find our stupid third land. But it's okay. We were even forgiven. We were given a shot. After my opponent almost threw out the game. I could have not Uro there too, right? I could have played I could have held up Cryptic. I still think that it's definitely correct to go for Uro there. 500% correct to go for Uro. Oh wow! You're gonna do that? No, it's fine. You got me. Playing around the 4 of Sermojo restriction, that makes sense. Opponent's really next level than me. Clearly, they are the superior player. I guess they did see Spellbeers game 1, so. I'll take one. Take one. The good thing is my opponent cannot blow me out with Swift Foot Boots. They can't blow me out with that. But what margin do you like primetime decks over your next favorite modern deck? It's a pretty wide margin. It's a pretty wide margin. Look at my opponent getting cheeky over there. Getting their Swift Foot Boots online. Number 2 favorite deck is Metalwork Colossus. Obviously. So my opponent can Swift Foot on my end step, which I'm gonna let resolve. You got me. And there's no playing around it, basically. Like if my opponent's gonna need to be the first one to make a move. There's no need for us to blow this up until we have to. Like I'm more than happy taking one if my opponent needs to. In fact, I'm happy that they use the Swift Foot Boots there instead of using it later to protect the Lurrus. which is probably what I would have tried to set up. Okay, Lurrus in hand. Take one. You got me. I think that regardless whether they play a hammer or not, I'm gonna blow this up on end step, so that way I can untap and I can Jace with protection, I guess. I guess I don't have to. I can just wait 2 more turns, which seems better. Yeah, right? Let's play this here, pass the turn. Next turn I can Jace plus blow up explosives, which seems like a fine place to be at. I'm not gonna play around my opponent having a second swift foot boot. Swift foot. Swift foot. Things are looking good here. If my opponent continues doing nothing, that's great for us, because we are doing stuff. Just play this like I have no idea how many turns ago, and my opponent has basically, we just locked my opponent out of the game. Just engineer the explosives for 1. Too strong. Too strong. We're kind of getting to the point where my opponent might have to just like go for Lurrus and equip and hope that it works. It's not going to, because we have the path, but like this Jace is gonna very quickly take over, right? Pure steel padding is good. That's awkward, but that resolves. They can get to kill Jace here, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Jace down. Okay. Got me. They can probably name Jace again or something here, but I guess it's not the end of the world. We're drawing a fetch land, and then there's a Mystic Sanctuary below that. Three, four, five, six. We could path this. I don't think we want to. We're in an interesting spot here. We're definitely in an interesting spot. We do have to shuffle because the double for deck is bad, but we have the option of Udo, or we can hold up Shark Typhoon. The Fairy Time Raveler. Okay. Misty. Oh, I guess I bought on the Flood Strand. Force of Negation. Not bad. Not bad. Am I just Udoing here? I think I might just Udo here. Now that I have the Force. Yeah, there's a Temple Garden left, so this is fine. Nice. So I guess we save this for the trample equipment. We can force this, but I think I'd rather force the equipment. Because we can also Shark Typhoon block the Ink Moth. So... I think we're gonna pass that guy. That one. Kill that one. Pointing confirmed coward. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, we do get to make a big shark. But I'm thinking whether I need to get rid of this Pure Steel Paladin. David Ricky, you think of the follow. I think I need to get rid of this Paladin and I have to wrath my own board. Will Modern ever be fun again? Probably not. Modern shall never be fun again. Three shark. Opponent doesn't even equip the Swiftfoot boots. They don't even care. They just have nothing? Okay, that probably looks it up. 6, yeah. Ornithopter. Should I sell MTG collection and invest in more board games? Using the word invest when talking about board games sound like a pretty funny proposition. What board games would you invest in, Stabs? Leak, yeah. What else? What does he got? There we go. I guess I don't like Python Needle as much. I don't like Python Needle as much because I guess it answers what's his name, but like I'm going to explosives on 1 always, so it's gonna be very, very rare for me to not want to explosives on 1. I invest in Monopoly every time I play it. Okay, sounds reasonable. Land. Invest in games that bring me joy. The longer I live, the more money I make. Joy is required for living longer. Those are facts. Those are facts, Stabs. My opponent is definitely a Swiftfoot boot gamer. Land. And when I say land, obviously I mean land / 4-drop, right? Forges are basically land. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. Put Lurrus in hand is what my opponent goes for. Ballsy move. Land? Come on, man. For real. Land? I guess this is how this one's gonna go. I think I'm forcing this. If my opponent goes for this, I'm gonna force it. F me. $28. 28 lands. 28 lands. The big old 2-8. My opponent hits more land drops than I do. while playing half the amount of lands. Frustrating. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. You're teasing me, Deck. You're just teasing me. At this point, are you playing any tournaments? No, the format is bullshit. Not interested in playing it. File for comp. MTGO is obviously trolling me. No arguments there. That's exactly how a lot of matches have felt today. That's how a lot of matches have felt today. Which is unfortunate, but every now and then you just have one of those. Just one of those days. Should play a tournament this weekend, maybe chess or backgammon or poker. All of those sound more exciting than a Magic tournament. I'll tell you that much. Man, a friend had taught me to play backgammon and I totally forgot, but I remember that I loved it. Like when I was a kid, I had this backgammon game in my dad's computer that I would play, but I literally had no idea and there were no instructions in the stupid game for whatever reason. And there was no internet either, so I never knew how to play backgammon. But I had this backgammon game and it always interested me how the board looked with all of those like pointy things. So basically years later, a friend finally teaches me and I haven't played in like 3 years at this point, so I totally forgot. But I remember it was fun. I remember it was a cool game. I remember having a good time when I did play it that one time. Fran Benz versus land drops. Who's gonna win this time around? If my opponent metamorphoses, I'm gonna force off negation. Is Legacy terrible now as well? Yes, it is. Both formats are unplayable. Like, actually unplayable. Both of them are outstandingly miserable to play. One, two, three, four. So we still don't have Uru mana, so I'm not gonna force here. We're gonna be taking this turn off to Cryptic, I guess. Should play the only good format, a good cube. There is a cube going on right now, right? I think it's kind of a meme cube, but I usually my cube content comes exclusively from KLFD. KLFD and LSV are the only people that I can actually watch cube. And I have not watched them so far. So I don't know if the cube is fun or if it's bad. Man, Lava Dart is such a busted Magic card. Just counter draw this. Counter tap, sorry. So I guess I'm dying in the air, huh? Opponent puts 2 cards on top. Gross. They are down to 1 card though. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Isildur, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I think that the problem if I cryptic tap and draw, what am I hoping will happen? Because I'm not going to hit my land drop, obviously. I think I have to find a path to exile. I think I have to find a path. I think that's the only way that I went here. It's basically a path, right? So at this point, we need to find Jace into double path. Jace into double path is the line. We made this matchup earlier today. I don't think it's that terrible for us. I wouldn't say that it's great, but it's not terrible. Bounce Dragon, Exile Dart with Force of Negation. They still get the triggers. There's no combination that wins there. The only way that I win is my opponent has... I find double path and I get to path both of my opponent's flyers. And then I force their Metamorphose or whatever they left on top. And then I untap an Ayuro. But based on the cards that I knew about, I was just dead. Unless I found specifically those cards. And because of that, I needed to Jace. Because Brainstorm actually digs me 3 cards deep and I can find double path. No such luck though. No such luck. That's okay though. Keepable hand. Okay. Find Temple Garden here. We have to enable both Udo and Path here. I guess I'm gonna play an island here. my opponent plays a big flyer, I think I'm pathing it because I'm not guaranteed to hit a white source. And based on my luck today, probably not gonna be doing that. So this is gonna be Manamorphose into flying, dude. Cleansing Wildfire your basic island. Okay. Great play. By the way, I strongly advise against bringing in this card in a matchup like this. I think it's just a waste. Like you are getting your land back, but I think that you are just like 2 mana is too much of a cost, and the way that you win this matchup, it's precisely because you can get ahead. Like my opponent basically time walked themselves, and they achieved absolutely nothing. I mean, I doubt that my opponent has Blood Moon when they have this, right? Like this fixes my mana in case of Blood Moon. It would literally make no sense at all for my opponent to be playing Blood Moon right now. Or their sideboarding is extremely inconsistent. Which, I guess it's a possibility. I think I'm getting basic planes here. My opponent could have Blood Moon for sure, though. Manamorphose. Another Manamorphose. You got it. Lightning bolt my face. You got it. Serum Visions. Nice sequencing. And obviously when I say like nice sequencing, I mean the opposite, right? You want to Serum Vision first so you have more information before you fire off a bolt that doesn't do anything. Put 2 cards on top. And now what? Bolt your face again. Okay. And now? Gut shot your face. Okay. Is that it? I'm gusting here because I want to save the path for a Stormwing entity, of course. Also, I like the idea of my opponent not getting another land, right? We could Jace here. I think I'm just gonna Udo. Because if we find any land, we get to Jace. I guess for a second I forgot how ridiculously unlucky I am. It happens. It happens. And now we can be a little bit more liberal with this path because I already have the Stormwing entity taken care of. Lightning bolt your face again. Sounds good. What else? What else you got upon? Burst lightning your dude. Okay. But wait, there's more. Lava dart your face. I would assume that this means that we win. No basics to be found is interesting. I think that with my opponent, like they obviously have good cards, right? So I think I'm just gonna plus on them because they know what's on top, and obviously it's great because they've decided to fail to find. They don't want to show me what it is. Concede to conceal information. Sounds good. You got it, opponent. Okay. Are sharks better than Time Raveler? I think on the draw they are not. On the play, they probably aren't either. Maybe the sharks are just not very good in this matchup. Like they block flyers, but like they also die to lava darts more often than not. Okay. This time around they do have one drop, which obviously is a lot worse for us. Maybe we're gonna get Cleansing Wildfired again. That would be pretty awesome. Entity would suck, but we can deal with the little one. No, we can definitely deal with just Bolt Your Face. Light up the stage would suck, but Double Bolt is fine. I can work with this. Gut shot? Is that a gut shot stop? No. We are losing to Piers here. We are losing to Spell Pierce. But there's not much we can do, right, if our opponent had the turn 3 kill. Didn't have Morphos into Entity. Time to file for comp, yeah. What is this nonsense, right? So if they have Pierce, I lose. They do. Apostle's Blessing. Which I guess is the same. Well, I guess I don't lose, actually. No, but I do. But I do because, yeah, I do. Because now I go down to 1. Okay. They bottom the Swift Spear? Why would they bottom the Swift Spear? Okay. On a 3 we go. Green, green, green. So we get Hallowed Fountain here. Can the dream be lived? Can we live the dream? Can we live the dream, chat? One time. One time, chat. Can our Lord and Savior do it? Wow. We got to untap. This is insane. Oh, I'm so happy that this guy is getting banned. How awesome is that UR is getting banned? How awesome is that UR is getting banned? Wow. God damn it, UR. God damn it, UR. God damn it, UR. Playing against Yorion the Sky Nomad. Guess I keep this. Big question mark. Control tier Z starting from Monday. I mean, that guy is really messed up. Sky Killer. What the fuck? Why are we playing that card? I'm playing this because if my opponent plays a Thalia, we're super fucked. Or this, which is the same. Like we only get one window to do this, so we have to do it now. It's not great, but only one window to do that. What is this? 3 mana. What are we doing for 3 mana? Archon of Emeria. Yeah, that guy's pretty good. So I think I'm bouncing Giver. So that I can path this dude. We have access to force here. Fairy down. Woof. This is really awkward. So if my opponent has Flicker Wisp in hand, they get to save their Archon, which would be pretty much backbreaking for us. But if we played the fairy first, we can't bounce the vial. I think I'm gonna risk it. They can have Flicker Wisp here, which would be pretty, yeah, it's pretty brutal for us. But at least we get to double spell here. There's the Wisp. Fairy. Minus on the vial. Archon is just so brutal against us. Put and play in our own Force of Negation. Smart. Just gonna Jace Brainstorm. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Hopefully my opponent doesn't draw land to Stoneforge the sword into play, because that would be bad. That'd be hella bad. Pretty risky, honestly. I guess that they have the Giver, never mind. No risk whatsoever. There's a basic forest on top of my deck. But I can't shuffle it. So I guess I'm gonna spend this turn to the Fairy minus. And I guess I minus on the Giver because it's the only thing that actually matters. Because I can't bounce on anything else. Whatever I bounce, they just give it protection. So it's a Sophie. Oh, that's a lot worse. Youch. Big yikes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 3 we go, I guess. Maybe we will go down to 4. They will swing with one of them at the Fairy. Okay, so 4 path or bust. I guess that would just bust, right? We could technically bounce this, but no, that's actually not true. Block here, they flash in the Sophie. Yeah, just that. This Archon guy, man. Archon guy sure is something. Gust, Pierce, Forces, Romance. Easy sideboarding. Cut the bad cards, bring in less bad cards. I guess I want to cut the Mana Leak too. We were able to cash it in there, but it's probably not going to happen most of the time. Didn't get there. Sure. Keep. Gonna play around, potentially drawing Growth Sparrow. Not bad, not bad. Oh, I should have played this to play around Cat Jesus. That sucks. Punished. This is not bad though. This is not bad. We got explosives. We got a verdict. We even have stuff to do in the meantime, thanks to this the fairy. Thalia. I think I'm mousing Thalia here. Land would be awesome. I know it's too much to ask though, but it would have been awesome. Never consider cutting a growth spiral to keep it like a leak or so. Against this kind of deck, I'd rather have cards that dig into my deck instead of having cards that only do something when my opponent's putting something on the stack. Because my opponent's deck is very good at developing their game plan while not putting stuff on the stack. So because of that, I'd rather have growth spiral than have something like Mana Leak. I think I'm gonna get greedy. Yeah, definitely getting greedy here. Land. I'm gonna attempt to get a 2-for-1 here with these explosives. They showed me Thalia already, right? So okay, my opponent's missing land drop, so I guess I'm gonna explosives for 1 now. Voodoo Kick, thank you for the follow. You have the Wrath to get rid of that. Opponent doesn't seem to be playing around the Wrath. Take 4. Land. Shark. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My opponent can put this sword into play. They're probably going to. That's kind of fine. Field of Ruin. I think we're just gonna Teferi Plus here. Like, we could Udo, but if we Udo and then my opponent goes Skyclave, we are in such bad shape. So it feels like it's a lot better for me to just Teferi. Mind Sensor plus Ghost Quarter. Okay. Yeah, that's bad. Lucksuck? No Lucksuck. That's 4 no lands though. That would have sucked. I don't think I can afford for my opponent to field me again and destroy my land. So I'd rather just minus there, make sure my opponent doesn't have anything on board, and start plussing. We would have gotten super blown out if I had left my opponent's Mind Sensor hang out. Archon is a lot more manageable right now. Archon is a lot more manageable here. I think we're Wrath here. And then we can Mana Leak. AD card Taxes is about as popular as Cystic seems. I've been playing against the Taxes decks a lot. I would assume that with very few cards actually mattering against Valky, that you would want to make sure that, you know, you always have your good cards. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. Like, apparently just there's more value, I guess, in the extra card in Yorion, because it's not even that good, right? Like, you're getting like Stoneforge Mystic and like Skyclave Apparition, and I guess that you get some value from flickering Flicker Wisp sometimes, but it's not that much value that this decks can accrue. They don't have, you know, snake effects or, you know, that kind of stuff. It is a large bird. Maybe this hand is a little bit risky, but I like this card is just so good. Just don't have turn one. Oh, come on. Every single fucking game, just turn one Vile. Always. Never miss a beat. Oh yeah. Castle Ardenvale, you love to see it. I can safely F6 there. Like, unlike Mother of Runes, there's no real problem with letting your opponent untap with Giver, unless you know that they're gonna be able to protect it with Flicker Wisp or with the other guy, the 2-mana guy, which I don't remember the name. They're playing something. I think I'm mana leaking this. The fairy would be kind of nice because it just slows down the vile nonsense. Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay. This is kind of pretty good for us. So if my opponent attempts to equip, I'm going to path it. I think I'm going to path it. No, I'm going to path it around step, I guess. That's a great draw. They're gonna get to make a token with the castle, whatever, but probably not too worried about that. Like, they're gonna have to use their Ghost Quarter to blow up my lands, so. And then we get to untap with Teferone. This is effectively Time Walk, because they don't have enough mana to activate Castle. Mind Sensor. You got it. Mind Sensor plus Vial. Okay, things looking good here. Opponent has no haste threats. We're going to be able to instant speed Wrath. We are also going to start untapping our mana with Big Teferi. Looking good. Looking pretty good here. Main phase dude so they can equip. Okay. Not looking bad here. Not looking half bad. So play land. Sombo. We have plus so we can instant speed Verdict. So I think I'm going to Needle Aether Vial. Oh, sweet. We're going to get a giver for our troubles. Awesome. We could also just name Blast Zone. I think that naming Aether Vial is just a lot better. Because, like, my opponent can do something tricky, like, you know, Flicker Wisdom Vial and... blow up Blast Zone, but... I guess good for them if they do. I think this one's left up. Seems like it would be rather challenging for my opponent to get out of this one. sure. I guess I shuffled away my Field of the Dead, so that kind of sucks. It's okay though. I'm not particularly worried. Maul of the Skyclaves. You got it. Take it to the skies. Flooded Strand. So I think I'm gonna change the plans here. I'm just gonna needle Castle Ardenvale now. Plus, oh, nice. 1, 2, 3. Udo. I guess that we can just needle Sophie, right? Like, we don't care about this thing. I mean, the world is kind of our oyster at that point. Another 3 and 2. Yeah, it's okay. Like, this deck is just fine. I don't think it's mind-blowing or anything. It has felt good overall. It did feel like most of the losses, which we did have a lot more today than the previous days, of course. We kind of squished all of the losses together in the same day. But it did feel like the vast majority of the losses were due to things not really on our control, like, you know, flooding or very often mana screw. Like, people were telling me, why am I playing 28 lands instead of, you know, just playing less lands because I'm not playing Primetime anymore. And it's just, I think that you actually just want 28 lands in a deck like this. Even going down to 27 would feel a little bit on the greedy side of things. You just have so much stuff that you want to be doing with your mana. You just have so much stuff that you want to be doing with your mana all the time. So, you know, it's kind of unavoidable, you know. Like I'm trying to give myself the most chances at not, you know, not dying with 5 good cards in my hand. And I think that because of the curve that I have going on here, it's probably correct for me to be playing 28 lands. I mean, technically, you could try 26 or less. Again, I think that this is in reality a 26 land deck that it's playing 2 win conditions, right? Like, I don't really see Field of the Dead as a land. I don't see this. This is just a win condition that can tap for mana in my eyes. That's the way that I see Field of the Dead. So I'm not counting these are as good lands in my deck whenever I'm going over my deck configuration. So if you want to cut Field of the Dead, which is perfectly fine, maybe you can, you know, just first of all, you get to play more Hallowed Fountains and you get to play more like Temple Gardens and stuff. So maybe it fixes your colors a little bit. And number 2 is you may be able to play some other card that matters. I do think Field of the Dead is just a great win condition. Like UR Prowess plus Field of the Dead, I think it's very powerful against many decks. We have won matches, for example, where our opponent thought this is our UR Prowess, and then on our upkeep, we just get it back, put it on top, and then just cast it. And, you know, just 1 UR Prowess is enough to beat any John deck or any like Shadow deck of sorts, unless they have specifically TBR. So I think that this is just a very, very powerful win condition. And sometimes you randomly just draw your Field of the Dead and just hit land drops, and you use your Field of the Dead to help you cast your spells, which is I think where the major power of the card really lies. It's not in like the busted end game. It's in the fact that in the early game, like, you have your win condition amongst your lands, and you can use your win condition to cast your spells as you're developing your game plan. So I think that is a pretty strong thing. How do you think Modern Magic will shape up once Hooray gets banned, assuming Field of the Dead gets banned too and Cascade rules change? I can't answer that question, Ronin. I don't know which changes are going to happen. Unless I know for a fact which changes are going to happen, I'm not going to be able to give you an answer. It's hard to be able to win the Valkyrie matchup and same time fight weird meme decks sometimes. Yeah, but I don't think that you're going to be fighting so many meme decks in the PTQ, because like the format is terrible, right? So with the format being terrible, a lot of the people that would play the format just for fun are just not going to play it. So the only people that are going to be playing that PTQ, which is the one that's happening this weekend, right here. So the only people playing the PTQ are going to be the super spikes, right? And since the only people that are going to be playing the PTQ are going to be the super spikes, I expect the Valky deck to be an absurd amount of the metagame. I expect that if you play that event, if you are assuming you get on the winners bracket, I think you're going to be playing against, if it's 8 or if it's 9 rounds, which is often what modern events are, I think that you're going to be playing against Valky 4 or 5 times on the average, at least. You may be playing against it more the more that you win, because I think that on the winners bracket, I think that all the folks at like 7-0 are gonna all be playing Valky. Maybe one like hammer deck sneaks in there, because there's always a hammer deck that is sneaking in there, or like an UR Omnath deck or whatever. But I think that this is gonna be like Hogak style in terms of how skewed the metagame is going to be, and I don't think it's particularly close. I think that it's kind of absurd in that sense. I think that we're definitely facing a deck with a higher power level than Hogak in comparison to the rest of the metagame. But yeah, this is a deck that you can use to try to fight it. Again, I don't recommend you play it. I recommend you only play it if for some reason you actively do not want to play Valky. If you want to win the event, you should play Valky. And anybody that tells you otherwise is just being silly. They just don't know what they're talking about. Like, if you want to win the event and you want to give yourself the highest chance at winning the event, you should be playing Valky. And everybody that is playing in that event with those goals should be playing Valky, which is why I think that we're going to see so much Valky in that event. Now, that's going to be it for me today, though, folks. Hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.